What's going on, guys? Welcome to Chiefs Out West. We are your hosts, Kia.
Butch Davis.
Welcome to this preview of the Houston Texans versus our Kansas City Chiefs. Divisional round playoff game. It's going to be one hectic, crazy, fun, hopefully a blowout win. But we're excited for this Chiefs game. This is win it to go to the next round to the AFC Championship. Loser goes home and has to watch from the couch. Butch, Texans are coming in. They won a great game against the Bills. I hear some Chiefs fans getting a little nervous. What are your emotions like? How are you feeling inside?
Look, is it okay to usually I'm sorry, Texans fans. We have Texans fans to watch this video. I'm going to be very disrespectful. Look, I'm not worried at all. There's no sweat rolling down my brow after what I saw from the Texans the week before. Knowing what the Chiefs are going to do after this bye week, there's no way in four quarters, unless something catastrophic happens in this game, after 4 quarters of football, the Texans won't be able to hang in this game. They're just not talented enough.
Right. Hey, Texans are coming into Kansas City, and so far, when they play in cold weather, they don't do really well. Watson has 5 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in the game, so it's going to be something to really look at and think about. But let's start with the Texans offense against the Chiefs defense. Butch, what are you concerned about? Who do we have to worry about? What are we looking at when it comes to this matchup?
Look, I'm not trying to put them completely in a cellar, right? The Texans can do some things that'll hurt you, and they did it when they played us in Week 6. It was the ability to run the football effectively and mix that up with runs on outside zone with DeShaun Watson, on inside zone with our old friend Carlos Hyde, and they can get to the edge with Duke Johnson. And then they follow that up with a couple of timely throws into the flat to the tight ends off that play action look. And then they had their normal, stack dagger, sail concepts from a split receiver formation with DeShaun with DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller, because Will Fuller was fully healthy in that game. Then they were able to give us some trouble. And they'll do some of the same things again. They'll be able to, if Will Fuller's healthy, however many plays that they play him, they'll be able to put them either on the same side of the field at one time or split them to both sides of the field, and they'll be able to play over the middle or deep. That's what they like to do. Inside zone, deep to the outside, sometimes some of those bang eights or dagger routes to DeAndre Hopkins, that's their offense. That is when Steve Spagnuolo is watching this with his defense, he's saying, here are their keys. We stop these two things from the line of scrimmage to about 20 yards back. We got it. What else are they gonna do? It's DeShaun playing backyard football after that, which can be dangerous, but that's it. That's all I see out of this offense to throw this defense off.
Right. And we have to understand that from last time that they played, we're getting Chris Jones back, we're getting Anthony Hitchens back, we're getting a lot healthier Frank Clark back. The only thing that we're missing is Juan Thornhill. And I do feel like, we need to really be cautious, but I feel like our front line, our defensive line will cause mayhem for Watson and hopefully won't be having a lot of time to sit back and throw one. But I do feel like, we need, the Chiefs defense have to be kind of cautious because, if Will Fuller is healthy, he's a speedster. He can get behind our defense. But I don't know. What did you think? Do you think? Where do you think our defense? We have this certain players missing, but do you feel like where do you think our defense was then, and what do you think our defense is now?
We didn't know who we were when we played them in Week 6. We didn't know what we had. Steve Spagnuolo was still experimenting. Darren Lee got about 30 snaps in that game, and I don't know. I think there are some players that can count for 0 negative tackles. Forget 0 tackles. Darren Lee had negative tackles when he stepped on the field because he was helping guys from falling on the ground, picking them up and letting them run. Pretty much. That's how terrible he was when he was getting snapped. We had no idea who we were. I don't think we saw Darren Lee after week 6. And that was like the best game that the Texans offense had that whole year. So fast forward to now, and they look a step slower than they did, when we played them in week 6. When they get Fuller back, that might change. The double move game is going to be there. Their offensive line is worse. They don't communicate. They don't identify the blitz. We have unleashed our blitz package on teams to a point where we have held them to less than 3 touchdowns or less. That's what we've given up on the back end of this season. I just don't know what the Texans are going to do. How are they going to fix all those flaws from not being able to control the line of scrimmage to maybe Will Fuller maybe playing, maybe not playing, maybe playing 50% of the snaps, to Hop being really their only true target that they can trust, to their tight ends being big and slow and dropping passes, to Carlos Hyde only running in between the tackles for 3 yards. There's just too much stuff that they would have to fix to be able to handle what we're about to put on them after this week of rest. I just don't see it, man. And I'll say this much. They gave up 7 sacks to Buffalo last week. They may give up 10. It's going to be, I put the over-under on 10 on sacks because we're really, Deshaun Watson, they end up coming close in this game or winning, boy, they better pay him $200 million.
Right. And our linebacker crew, yeah, like you said, was completely different. I think our starters were Damian Wilson, Ben Neiman, and Darren Lee. And since week 10, it's totally changed with Reggie Ragland, Hitchens, and Damian Lee, who have really stepped up, helped with the run, and did somewhat better in the pass game. But yeah, no. I think our defense has a huge advantage this time. I think with the way Spags is switching things up, confusing, making quarterbacks really think about the coverage, having Fuller and other players, play at the cornerback and at safety, and just, mixing it all up. We're different, brand new kind of defense. Plus we got Terrell Suggs, who's another hungry beast in the defensive line. I'm really just excited. I think of Spags as just a defensive Andy Reid, but he's a defensive coach. Just the way he switches it up and confuses the hell out of offenses. I'm actually really excited to kind of see what he has planned for this Houston offense. And I'm also looking forward to see how Amani Watts and Kendall Fuller, what they do in the safety position and how they are able to cover them. And I'm pretty confident in Amani Watts. I'm really excited to kind of see him play and step up. And and see how he does it by replacing Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, this could be a reprieve for Brett Veach. We like bagging the 2018 draft class. I like bagging the 2018 draft class because it's garbage outside of Derek Nottie. And so, yeah, if Watts steps up and he's able to get his hands on the ball a couple of times, a couple turnovers, a couple stops, something like that, play well, that's another feather in Brett Veach's cap. That means he got that pick right, at least in my mind. He goes on this, he helps us get to a Super Bowl. Man, I'll etch it in blood that Armani Watts was the right pick at that position. And I like him too. Yeah, we're going to be playing a lot more split safety looks, though, without Juan Thornhill. We don't have that true single high safety or road runner, but Juan Thornhill had an interception in that game against Houston because, again, that shows his ability to erase those deep throws. We're going to need our safeties to really help out our guys on coverage to keep a lid on the defense. We keep a lid on the defense, we force them to go 10 to 12 plays. They usually screw up. Like the Texans usually find ways to screw up. Stupid holding penalties, hands to the face, fumbles, a bad interception. DeShaun Watson takes a terrible sack, something like that. They're not just going to be able to do that for 4 quarters. They're a very inefficient and at times underprepared offense. And I think what Spags does is he looks at, look, this is what I have at my disposal, is what Spags says. And he's not held down to any one position. He could do one thing one half, he could do another in the second half, and use however much personnel he wants to use, and that's what gets offenses caught up, and even good offenses caught up, let alone this offense that we're going to play that is bipolar.
Yeah, and one last thing before we switch to to the defense and offense. Um, I was really happy when the Texans went into overtime against Bills. I wanted them to just get play as long as possible to get so tired and to the point where like they're going to be so beat up. And yeah, I know NFL players can overcome this, but that right there, because the Texans played in overtime, I think plays a huge key spot in this game because they're going to have to play another tough game against a good team, and so I think that's going to be another key thing to really look at just their physical, their stamina, and how they might be good in the beginning, but how can they last the whole game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, 4 quarters of pressure, and that's where, like you mentioned, you play a OT game, a physical OT game in the playoffs week before. You ready to go another 4 quarters? Our guys can go 4 quarters after their rest, and we go deep on the offensive defensive line, and they've had snaps. The thing about playing guys like Ben Neben and getting guys into like Damone Harris and Tano Pasio for rotation during the regular season, our guys don't have that many snaps on them or on their bodies. Now they go into the playoffs, they're fresh. Can your guys last 4 quarters? We'll find out. We're gonna test their limits. Some of their best guys are banged up. We're going to see how much they got in them for 4 quarters. It might be torture out there on Sunday.
Right. And then now that I feel like that's going to be the matchup that we're all going to be wanting to look for and wait for. But now the next matchup, it's Patrick Mahomes and this amazing offense against the Texans defense. Texan defense played, it looked like they were going to get blown out by this Bills defense, but then they were able to step up. We're really thinking it's, in my eyes, the way I think is I feel like this offense could really blow out this Texan defense because everyone's back and everyone's healthy. Butch, what do you think? Do you think that's what's going to happen?
Boy, there are some very familiar names on that defensive side for the Texans, ain't it? Was a good friend of ours. What was his name? Oh, yeah, Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby, I can put on some highlights of you in Denver, Colorado, getting smoked by Tyreek Hill. Another guy they got over there, I forget what his name is, and he was, oh yeah, Garyon Conley. That's a familiar name, Garyon Conley. You know what happened earlier this year, Garyon? I went to a game in Oakland, California, and you very promptly got smoked by like 3 different Chiefs receivers. I mean, this secondary, they don't have the foot speed to run with our guys. They are a poor matchup. They have been a bad pass defense this entire year. Romeo Crennel likes to play his veterans, so he likes to get his old guys out there, like Jonathan Joseph, who's old enough to be a grandfather right now, still trying to defend our young speed. This is going to be a problem for them if they can't get pressure with 4. And guess what? Your best D lineman that you use to rush when you're not blitzing, J.J. Watt, is about 50% health right now. Maybe. I just don't know this is what's going to keep them from being able to play the defense that they want to play, for being able to do the things on offense that they want to do. They're not going to be able to run the ball effectively because they're going to get smoked. I love you, Texans fans. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I love you, but you're going to get smoked in this game. Andy Reid's first 10 plays are going to net us like 21 points.
Yeah, and what is interesting is that we're a healthier team. You have a healthy Tyreek Hill, you have a healthy Sammy Watkins, you have a healthy Damian Williams, you have somewhat healthy. We're not sure with Travis Kelce, but I think he's gonna be fine. And we got an offensive line that's finally gelling together, communicating, working well together. I'm still hoping that Wiz the Biz, my favorite O lineman on this, left guard, plays instead of Wiley, but we'll see right there. But everyone's playing at a kind of high level. And Patrick Mahomes, our savior, is also really healthy. And guess what? I believe we haven't even played all our good plays. Like Andy Reid called so well. He played so conservatively. He probably deserves Coach of the Year because he was able to save everything he has and still go 12-4. He was able to put a subpar performance, subpar in the Chiefs' eyes, but it was still really good in football, but it's still subpar, and I feel like we're gonna see a lot of great play calling, a lot of greatness, and I think we easily top 30 points against this team.
Yeah, likewise. So, you know what? Let's even get a little granular. Like, you're right. Our offense at times, the call sheets have been all right. We haven't necessarily needed a lot of it. We've trusted our defense to win games for us late. Against games like the Chargers. In games like Chicago, we gave them a little bit of the call sheet, but the call sheets haven't been great. So what does that allow us to do? That allows us to have plays that we've probably practiced all year, probably installed in training camp, that they haven't run throughout most of the year. So they're not on tape. They haven't need to put that on tape. These types of playoffs, these types of games right here, I mean, you want to talk about really turning the knob on what your offense is with all the speed. Andy is the puppet master right now, and he gets to show it in this game. All those orbit motions, jet sweeps, fake jet sweeps, double reverses, triple reverses, throwbacks, screens to deep, level concepts, 4 goes. You're going to see it all. I mean, they're going to throw the bevy at them. We might not. I don't think. How many times are we going to see Dustin Colquitt? I don't think we should punt. I don't think we should punt either. When we really get the chance to put a dagger in their throat, when we're up 21-3 going into the second half, if we go 3 and if it's 4th down and 4 at our own 30, I say go for it. And really, really get to light them up. I mean, you'll see the defense. They'll look at each other. Hey, timeout. They'll give up. They'll give up. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we it's by what we were seeing, it shows that we're gonna have, Chiefs offense can have a really amazing day, and you got to understand it's gonna be cold weather, and Patrick Mahomes seems to play a lot better in cold weather. He just seems to just enjoy the game even more and play with even more passion. And plus, you add on a sprinkle of playoff football, and it's going to go the other way. I don't see the Texans, Texans offense, really be able to match up against this offense. And so, like I said, I think the main matchup is going to be Texan offense against the Chiefs D. I think that's the one thing that we got, that's going to be the matchup that we're going to be looking at. But we will see. Any last thoughts?
Yeah. Well, what is it? A score prediction? I don't even like doing these. Look, I always say, come playoff times, it's 1 point better than the other team. So 1 point better than the Texans. But I'm taking, what's the line at 9.5? I might drop to 9 by the time we get to the opening kickoff. I'm taking the over.
All right, cool. Yeah, same here. I'll take the over too. But yeah. Well, the game is on Sunday early afternoon, the first game. Please come prepared to watch the game. And yeah, that's about it. Please subscribe, comment on our video. We really appreciate it, guys. Take care. Go Chiefs.
Be easy.